Now, so what we'll do is we will quickly start with a quick round of an introduction. Fine. We have, a big audience, so I would not be able to make you people speak. I would really, love to speak with you personally, but in this session, we will not be able to speak. So if you guys can quickly type it in the chat window. I just need to know a few things from you. One, are you a fresher or you have a work experience? In case you have work experience, which domain have you worked on? And the other thing that I would want to know is how do you or how did you get interest in Salesforce? How did you get to know about Salesforce? Why did you think of joining this webinar or this workshop, right? So that is the thing. So these things, in case you can just put it in the chat window, that will be fine, right? I'll just pick one or two of your responses and I'll talk on those points, and others I will keep for my reference, right? I wish I could talk to you, all of you individually, but that will be a little difficult. But you guys can, just ping me in the chat window related to all your one, your work experience, if you are a fresher or you have work experience. Second thing is, in case you have any knowledge on Salesforce prior to this, and how did you come to know about Salesforce, right? All right. Okay, we have got a few really good things. So someone said that they are doing a self-study on it. Someone said that has experience, 4-5 years of experience. Okay, so there are people who have got into a job on Salesforce. There are experienced lot. There is, there are people who are not experienced. So that's pretty fine. I mean, a very nice combination that we have in this webinar today. So fine, that's pretty nice. So we have all kinds of clients or audience here. There are people with no experience. There are people who are doing self-study to learn Salesforce. There are people who want to learn Salesforce and get into IT. And we have people with experience also. That's pretty nice. Okay, so that's good. Let us get started on the introduction part. So I got an introduction from you. So now let me just introduce myself very quickly. My name is Jeet, so by now you all know that I have been working into Salesforce for almost 7 years now, right? Now, till last year I was a part of company. I will not tell you which company, but I was a part of a company, and I was into leading projects there. Then I realized that there is a very good scope of Salesforce outside these big companies. So Salesforce has a very strong client base for smaller companies also. I was a part of a consulting company, a big consulting company, and I used to work for big clients and all. Now I realized that the smaller companies that we have in India, in US and UK, these clients are kind of short of vendors. Because they cannot afford to approach something like an IBM or an Accenture, right? So if you think of a manufacturing company in India, any city, take any city, this manufacturing company might not go to a big company like an Accenture or IBM and HP for their consulting thing, right? So but they are willing to implement Salesforce. Why they are willing to, we'll talk about that part. So I realized that there is a big scope outside that bigger company, and I stepped out of my regular routine nice job, and I decided to start my own consulting firm, right? So that is about me. So that's about my professional thing. Apart from that, apart from my technical work experience, I am very fond of doing networking. So talking to people, doing networking with them, and I'm pretty fond of music. So I am also into classical music, a bit of it. Don't ask me to sing something for you guys here. And so that is the thing. I actually look into the, things from an opportunity perspective. So the reason why I do these workshops and the training programs is pretty clear. One, I need to connect with more and more people so that can support my requirements of the clients and all. Sometimes I do have requirements from my clients where they ask me to deploy certain resources, and they ask me that, do you know some good Salesforce developer, and they are the clients have requirement at every level. So that is one thing. So I feel that if I am into this workshop training kind of thing, I have enough resources who I can push to my clients. So that helps my clients. That is one. Sometimes I require resources for my own projects. So part-time, full-time, freelance basis. So these workshops actually help me stay connected to a lot of developers. And these are not only experienced developers, these can be people with 6 months, 1 year experience of development. So recently I have a client in Mumbai. This is a big communication telecom company, and they have a requirement of close to 25 Salesforce developers, and they are looking at basically the people who are kind of freshers but with good understanding of Salesforce. So 6 months to 1 year experience, and they are looking for this kind of people who have good understanding. They might not have that much of experience. They're ready to hire, right? So that sort of thing. So that is why I actually come into these things. Now I have a very simple approach. Fine. When I learned Salesforce, I see a question here. I would just request you one thing. Please do not put any question. We will have a question and answer session towards the end. So if you keep on asking questions now, I might not be able to answer, and you might get disappointed. Fine. So let's put all the questions towards the end. So I was just saying that I have a very simple approach. What I understand is, I started learning Salesforce when Salesforce just started, its operations, and it was, very new, especially in India. So I'm talking about the year 2007. So Salesforce started in 1999, but they actually, got into some shape in 2004. So 2007 is a time when it was pretty much new, right? Now, when I learned Salesforce, that was a time when everyone used to run after SAP. SAP was the boss of all, right? Now, for me, learning Salesforce was never a planned learning. The way we now plan, I see a lot of people, they plan. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of you might have heard of that Salesforce is doing very good in the market, and you should go for it, learn it, you will get into IT. I saw a few people saying that we want to get into a job into Salesforce and all that stuff. Yeah, so 2007, that was not the scenario. In 2007, people used to run after SAP. So SAP was, the market leader, and Salesforce was pretty new, and people used to, no one used to provide training, and no one used to take training. So for me, the learning was all by doing it. So somehow, unfortunately or fortunately, I came across a client who implemented Salesforce, and they wanted, my company's management decided that they will put me into that particular role, right? And no one else was ready to go. They thought that it's going to be a dark future in Salesforce and all those things, and they never wanted to go. And I was forced to go and take that up. And I, being a very nice guy, a team man, I said, okay, fine, I'll take it up. And now it is the scenario is pretty different. So SAP is not doing that good, and Salesforce is doing pretty good. So people who opted for SAP at that point of time might not be the happiest lot at this point of time. But no worries, I mean, we are not here to discuss that. My point was that I have learned it by doing things myself. So I started working on Salesforce the time when there were a lot of things which were not known to anyone. Only Salesforce guys knew it. I went, I kept on doing things, learned it, called their customer care, and that is how I have learned, right? So there was one factor that I realized which was very important. That was the interest that I developed. The moment I started working on Salesforce, I developed, a very high level of interest into it. I saw that this is a tool which is very easy to use and very comfortable to work, very convenient. I realized that, oh, this is something where you can do wonders in no time. And that I'm talking about 2007. I mean 7 years back when Salesforce also did not have too many features. Now it is fully loaded with features. So at that time also I felt that this tool is really good and you can do a lot of things with very minimum effort. So when I realized it, I'm pretty sure other companies, other professionals also realized it, and that is the reason why Salesforce has become so popular in these past few years, right? So that is the thing. Now, when people now think of learning Salesforce, there is one small challenge. People think that they will go to a training center, they will sit in a classroom, they will attend a few sessions, and they will become a developer or a consultant on Salesforce, and just by doing nothing. That is the wrong concept, right? So my philosophy is, or what I believe in is, you have to learn it. To learn it, you have to develop interest. To develop interest, you need to see the practical implementations of it, or you need to understand how easy or how comfortable it is to do a development on Salesforce, right? So this is your first step towards that. The objective of this webinar or workshop is basically to develop interest in you and to show you how easy it is to learn Salesforce and to become a master in it. But in case we feel that no, we just want to attend some session and become a master, that will be a little difficult. I do not know if that works for someone, but that is practically not possible, right? To learn a technology, to get a job into that technology, you will have to learn the practical aspects of it, and practical aspect is something which no one can teach you. That is something which should come from your side, right? So that is the thing. We will start with that motive, that let us see how simple Salesforce is, how simply it works, how easy it is to work on this. I am hoping that you all are paying full attention to this. So that is what I would require. When you are putting your time here, please pay full attention. And end of this session, I assure you that you will be very satisfied. You will not regret if you missed on a movie. If you did not go for a Salman Khan's kick, you will get a better kick here. So don't worry about that. All right. So let us get started. So we'll talk about a few basics, and then I will ask you to do hands-on. So there is a lot of hands-on that we're going to do. Okay. And you might need to toggle between screens. When I ask you to do your hands-on, you might be required to toggle between screens, this screen and that screen, and you'll have to keep in pace with me, right? So hopefully that's fine with everyone. Now let's get started on this.